Hello everyone out there, welcome back to my channel Science Unlocked. And we have discussed lots and lots of techniques and methods for the preservation of food in the previous session, and now we will be continuing that particular topic only because we are still left with certain methods of preservation of food. And as we all know that in a country like India, the amount of food which is to be produced, the amount of food which is to be made available to everyone is quite high. So this particular resource is something which is very precious for us. So now we are moving ahead and we are moving to the next method of preservation, that is the usage of chemical preservatives. Now, till now we were talking about different kinds of methods which can be adopted in our day-to-day life, and this way we can conserve, or you can say we can preserve the food that we have. But at the very same time, there is a bigger aspect to this particular process. Why is it so? Because there are many industries in our economical sector which are working efficiently and which are dependent on the production of different kinds of foods. For example, we have different kinds of jam, different kind of sausages, different kind of chips, and other different kinds of things which are available in the market. So all these kinds of packaged food, whether it is a kind of drink, a kind of sausage, a kind of some sort of cream, some sort of chips, or some sort of wafers, some sort of any other cookie, so they all are part of the world or the industry where the production is quite high. And when the production is quite high and the time period between the production and its supply, means the particular industry is producing the particular amount which they are producing on their respective bases, and that particular article will going to reach to us through our vendors. So this particular time duration is going to affect the quality of the food which we are getting. In that condition, we cannot purely rely on the basic or traditional methods of preservation. Where comes in another category, that is the chemical preservatives. In that particular situation, we are going to use different kinds of chemicals so that it can preserve the spoilage of food. And one such example is sodium metabisulfate. How do we pronounce it? Sodium metabisulfate. So what it is? It is basically a type of chemical which is when added to food articles, it will going to preserve it for a longer duration. And when we are going to use a chemical preservative, in that condition, what will going to happen, that if we are not able to overcome any of the traditional method that we have discussed previously, like maintaining the temperature or maintaining the moisture content, then in that case also the food will be preserved. Because you can imagine this thing, that something is being made in the industry, from there it will be packaged, from there it will be delivered to the vendor, and then it will come to us. During that particular whole process, nobody is going to take care of the temperature, that where in and in what conditions we are going to keep the food or that particular package. At the very same time, we are not going to keep in mind that how are we going to keep the moisture content over there or maintain that particular moisture content around the food. So there, in such a condition, we have only one savage, that is the chemical preservation. And this way, what we are going to do is we are going to preserve the food from spoilage. Now, the next and the last method of preservation that we have is canning process. Now what it is? It is the simple process where the food is being canned, or you can say it is kept inside the different sort of cans. Now this particular process is somewhat related with the particular method of preservation that we just right now discussed about the chemical preservation. Because chemical preservation is the process which is used in such kind of food articles only, which are to be packaged and delivered from one place to the other place, or from the industry to the vendors and then to the users. Now, in this particular process, what we are going to do is we are going to heat the particular material or the food article first of all at a high temperature, so that all the microorganisms which have the capability of spoiling the food will get killed, and ultimately we are going to keep it airtight. Now, what is the idea of keeping it airtight? In that condition, we are not allowing any amount of water or moisture to get mixed inside the food, and this way there will not be any kind of connection between the environment and the food. So this way what will happen, the microorganisms which are killed will not be able to further create any kind of mess or any kind of damage to the food. On the other hand, there will not be further attack of the different kinds of microorganisms on the food. This way, this particular process also helps in the process of preservation of food. Now, what's next that we have? Now, why do we need to preserve the food? So, it is quite obvious, like I have been discussing the same thing throughout the video in different formats and at different places. But now let's see that what are the advantages altogether. The very first one is that it decreases the food wastage. The amount of food which is required by the country like India is very high. At the very same time, if we can preserve the wastage itself, then of course we are going to preserve lots and lots of resources as well. So this way what happens is that by the process of food preservation, we can decrease or reduce the amount of food which is being wasted. Now, next is what? We can increase the storage period of food. Now, what does this mean? This simply means that we can keep the food with us for a longer time duration. Like you don't have to go every day to the market for buying rice and cereals. So this way what happens is, once you go to the market, you can collect lots and lots of food with you, and you can now come back to the house, so that you don't have to go to the market every day for the food or the very basic thing. So when we have the processes of food preservation, we can rely on our industries and vendors that they must have kept care of all these things, and because of them I can keep the food handy at my place only. For small things I don't have to go to the market again and again. Next, okay, the very important aspect, the fruits and vegetables are available even in off seasons. Like previously it was like this, a very basic example, that carrot is only available in the season which is winter season. That is the prime season for the availability of carrot. On the other hand, now it has been found that this particular vegetable is available throughout the year. So this is what is the advantage of preservation. On the other hand, here when we talk about some other things as well, like I don't have to wait for a particular season to have a particular fruit or vegetable, because it is available in the market even in the off seasons. So that is what is the aspect of food preservation, that we can preserve things for a very long time. And what is going to happen is that one particular state or country who has the specific production of a particular fruit or vegetable, then in that case what will happen, that particular vegetable will be available to all of us. That is what exactly is the you can say unique importance or magical aspect of food preservation. Then it is available on the far off places as well. This just right now I have discussed that even if a particular state or a particular country is producing something, then that particular country can send it to different countries so that everyone can have taste of that particular fruit or vegetable. On the other hand, if I am not getting something at my own country land, I can get it from some other one. So this way what happens is that we have the better availability and better option of availability of different kinds of food at almost all places. Now, next is what that how we can actually prevent wastage, because we have been talking about the preservation processes, but apart from that we need to keep in mind that how are we going to prevent the wastage as well, because it is equally important. Now, preservation is something which is you are going to keep in mind while production or while sending of that particular or while delivery of that particular food. But wastage is something when it comes to the usage of a particular user. When a particular user is using something, at that particular point the point of wastage comes in. Like when it comes to the process, when I am going to eat something or I am going to have that food for me. So there are certain things which I can keep in mind while doing that particular basic process, so that apart from the factor of preventing them from spoilage, I can prevent it from wastage also, so that I should be knowing that okay fine, this particular food should not get wasted. So what are the things which I need to keep in mind? That I am going to take only that much amount of food which I am able to eat, because I know that I can eat this much amount of rice, I can eat this much amount of dal, I can eat this much amount of meat, I can eat this much amount of chapatis. So I should eat only those things and I should keep only that much amount in my plate, so that the food is not wasted. If something is there which is excess, I should remove it. If something is less, I can add up later on. Like if I would like to have 2 chapatis and at the very same time I took only one at a time, then I can add up the second one whenever I would like to have more. But if I've already kept 2 chapatis in my plate and I'm not able to eat both of it, then in that case that particular chapati is wasted. Who is going to eat something which has been chosen up by someone else? So that is something very obvious. So that is what exactly is the way with which we can prevent the wastage. Okay, so if I am living all alone and I am a single person, how much I can eat at a time? Very less. At the very same time, if there is a house where there are approximately 4 to 5 individuals or maybe more, so of course they are going to require a huge amount of food for the purpose of cooking. So I should be vigilant about this particular aspect, that how much amount of food would I need if the number of individuals are such. If they are less, of course less amount of food is required. If the number of individuals are high, then of course the amount will be higher. So this is what exactly is the concept to keep in mind with which we can prevent the wastage. Then we should always make sure that we use the different kind of traditional methods that we discussed as the preservation processes, to keep in mind that which particular food should be kept where, to keep it clean, to keep it prevented from spoilage, which is a part of wastage only. Because let us say I needed only 1 bar of chocolate at a time, or let us say I needed only 1 glass of milk at a time. But at the very same time, what I did is I took out the whole amount of milk and I used only 1 glass of milk out of it, and I let it stay there in the open area for a long time. This way what will happen? It will get spoiled and it cannot be used again. It will be wasted. So I need to keep in mind that there are certain things and certain food items which are to be kept at specific places, then only they can be prevented from wastage. Like we should keep most of the food in dry, clean and cool places. That way it can be used for multiple times. Similarly, the examples right here is about the pulses and spices. We need to keep them in airtight containers, else they are going to leave, you can say they are going to have some sort of damage where the smell of that particular spice can be affected. its taste can be affected, its crunch can be get affected. Similarly, what happens is when you are going to keep biscuits or cookies in open, they get moistened up, they get soggy. So that is what, that is wastage, because no one is going to like cookies which are not crisps, which are not which are soggy. So that way what happens is we can prevent the wastage of the food as well. So this was it for this particular session, and with this particular session we are done with our chapter as well. I hope I was able to explain everything in detail and give you a better insight that how we can actually give our contribution in the process of prevention of food and in prevention of wastage of food. So with this I would like to sign off now, and make sure stay safe, stay home and stay healthy, keep learning. All the best.